Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be giving you a bit of an update and price prediction of the earnings that was reported from YALA Group. So that'll be today's target, and that'll be what we'll be going through today, is what they basically turned over for the last financial year. And please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, comment them below. Make sure you do your own research, because I'm not a finance advisor, guys, so you need to just take this as for entertainment purposes only. However, last year it did make an 82% return on my money, so this could be a gateway ticket to making massive returns in the future. Now, also, please, down below I'll put a link, and it'll be a free stock from Stake if you fund the account within the first day, and you can also purchase all my buy recommendations through there as well. So my latest buy recommendation was Salesforce, ticker code CRM, Square, ticker code SQ, Cloudflare, ticker code NET, Teladoc, ticker code TDOC, and Twilio, TWLO is the ticker code for that one. So they are actually a group of buys as my buy recommendation. So I'll also put that link into my description below for that video as a buy recommendation. Later in the week, I will start to be releasing videos on those companies as individual videos as well. So there'll be another 5 videos coming late this week, early next week, and throughout next week as well. So there'll be another 5 more videos. Righto, so for 2019, YALA had a total users of 4.15 million users. Now that was combined of 3.2 million users from their social media platform, and their gaming platform had 865,000 users. Now that was for 2019. Now in 2020, the pandemic came along and sort of cramped up all the future growth into 1 year. Now that's my opinion about it. That's where the growth particularly came from. So for the social media platform, it grew to 6.4 million users, and their gaming platform grew to 10 million users for the course of 2020. Now, so that was a total of 16.4 million users now, and that was equate to a 300% growth in the users. Now, in their paying users, they had 723,000 paying users, and they now have 5.2 million paying users. That's an increase of 620% over the course of 2020. Now, this is bigger than the percentage return is bigger on their paying users than their total users, and that is great. That means people that are using the platforms really do love it, and they're getting sucked into it. And as we're starting to see, as the users go up, their rate of return of paying users is actually increasing faster. Now this is the bit that I like about it, which basically means people do really like to use the YALA platforms. Now, so when we get into it, so that was the users. The total revenue grew from $63.5 million to $135 million in total revenue. It's 112% increase over the course of 2020. Now, that is massive. So they are slightly higher returns than what I was expecting. When we go back to their users, I was sort of expecting them to hit somewhere between 15 and 17 million users, and they hit 16.4 million users, so that's great. The total paying customers, the actual increase is higher than their current users in terms of the percentage, which is great as well. So that hopefully should push their revenue up even more into the future, if you weren't to take in the growth of what the new users will be as well. Now, in terms of a cash on hand, they now have $236 million. Compared to last financial year, they had $45 million. Now, That is just phenomenal. In terms of their cash to liabilities, it is, so their current liabilities is now $21 million. However, last financial year they had about $8 million of current liabilities. So as you can see, their total gross return in terms of their margins is really high, and they can print money really easy in terms of the basic setup of the business. Now, so cash to current liabilities gives them a ratio of 11.23. Now, this is great. So let's say, I'll break it down so it's a little bit more simpler for people to understand. Now, the 11.23, so their current liabilities is what is due for their debt within the next 12 months. Cash on hand is the cash that they have currently in the bank. So they have $236 million in cash in the bank right now. In terms of current liabilities, they owe $21 million of cash, so of liability. So that's their total debt. Now, if you were to say that they weren't to have a single extra bill come within the next 11 years, and the bills that they have due, and that was just to be reoccurring every year for the next 11 years, they can survive for the next 11.2 years on their current cash to liabilities ratio. Now, so when I look for businesses, I look for ratios above 1.5. And this is 11. This is crazy. This is massive. So this is the reason why I really, really do love YALA. And my potential price prediction on YALA is pretty big. So I still believe YALA can easily hit, especially given their earnings report of what they've just released, they can easily hit $60 per share by the end of this year. Now, so over the course of the last couple of weeks, we did see, in the $19 mark as their share ratio, their share price, sorry. I do believe that this is just a massive, silly buying opportunity. It's just crazy. So my buy recommendation still stays as a buy. It's not a buy recommendation in terms of my overall portfolio. However, if you'd like to add YALA to your portfolio, I highly recommend adding under $30 per share. Now, why $30 when I see the potential of $60? And that's all to do with a margin of safety. Now, so let's say if they do half the return of what I predict in the future, let's say YALA should be able to have the potential to reach $45 per share. And this is the reason why I have margin of safety pricing in the background as well. So I don't recommend businesses if my margin of safety price is same or lower than the current share price. So I do believe this company is set for potential growth of massive returns in the future. So their earnings per share did hit 16 cents diluted as well for 2020. So that's also big as well. That was within my price target. I was sitting somewhere between 9 and 16 cents per share. So it was certainly on the upper end as well on the earnings per share. Yeah, so that'll do it for today, guys. Look, obviously YALA had a massive year. They had great returns and awesome potential into the years to become as well. So it's still listed as a buy, as my buy recommendation. However, in my portfolios, if you've already got YALA, I do recommend adding the other 5 positions that I have got as a next buy recommendation, which I did recommend earlier on in this video. And I'll also put a link to that video for my buy recommendations in the link below as well. Don't forget to click your free stock from Stake, which I also put a link in below, and like and subscribe to my channel. Now, if you've got any questions in relation to YALA of what anything may be, like could be earnings in the future, could be whatever. If you've got any of those questions, do comment them below and I can try and answer them as soon as I can as well. Now, if you have a company that does have a current profitability and you would like me to analyze it, please comment it down below, as I'm looking for new businesses into the future as well. So this is something that, although I've got a buy recommendation list, I'm trying to expand into the future. Now, so if you've got any businesses that you'd like me to analyze, please comment them down below. And please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.